In 2022, Yamaha have suffered issues that even they probably didn't think was going to happen. Everything was looking fine on the surface as Fabio Quartararo took a championship lead into the summer break. But after that, he has only scored 47 points since the return of MotoGP and is second in the championship and is 14 points behind Pecco Bagnaia as we head into the Malaysian Grand Prix. He was 91 points clear after the Sachsenring. What has went wrong? But it isn't just down to Quartararo's dip in form. There's also bigger issues. Let's talk about them. Franco Morbidelli has only scored 31 points across the entire season. And when you look at where he was in 2020, he was fighting for the world title. And he was also beating his Petronas Yamaha teammate Fabio Quartararo. But since his move to the team last season, things haven't been the same. And the injury that kept him out for several months hasn't helped. But we're over a year into that process now, and Morbidelli has not shown any signs of improvement. In fact, it's got worse for him. We hear the same things that Valentino Rossi has been complaining about for years with Yamaha. Not enough engine speed, the bike doesn't feel the same on used tyres. You know, things that we've heard for maybe a decade before this. And it seems to me that Yamaha are reluctant to change the solution or the philosophy that has been so successful for them. Yes, that's correct. You can keep that smooth turning bike. But in reality, since Crutchlow has came back as a replacement for Andrea Dovizioso, he has said the Yamaha is no longer the bike you can ride with one hand. It's very aggressive, and the aggressive nature of Quartararo's riding style on the brakes definitely mask a lot of the issues that the bike has. But when you see Quartararo making mistakes constantly, and he's lost his championship lead, he's overriding that bike, and when it gets to a race situation, he has to push so much compared to the other bikes around him. You look at the amount of Ducatis that we have, how great they are on the brakes. Even Marc Marquez coming back, what Marc can do on a Honda. Even if the Honda's not great, he can make it work in a race. The Suzukis have so much top end. The KTMs on their day are great bikes. Yamaha don't have any. They simply don't look like a bike that's evolved in the past number of years. And that's the worrying thing. Other teams, when they are struggling, they try something different. And Yamaha seem to say, oh, we've brought this engine upgrade. It'll be this different for next year. We'll have completely different philosophy. We get to Qatar or a Malaysia test and nothing changes. It's like they almost are afraid to take that jump. And it hasn't worked for them in the past. I think back to 2006. They went with a really aggressive engine. It suffered a lot of issues. And they reverted back to a 2005 engine spec that, essentially allowed Valentino Rossi to feel more comfortable. But there's also issues with the chassis, front end chatter. They always reverted back to what they knew. And I think that's a worry for a manufacturer like Yamaha, that they can't progress and listen to what the riders are having to say and just always rely on what has worked. It might have worked for Jorge Lorenzo and Valentino Rossi in the past, even Fabio Quartararo last year, but MotoGP's evolving, and if you don't evolve, you get left behind. And I think that is a really big worry for Yamaha. Going forward, what's going to happen? They need to get their rider situation sorted, because even next year, they've lost the RNF racing team as a satellite team, so they only have 2 bikes on the grid of Morbidelli and Quartararo. And the logical thing is, if Morbidelli doesn't improve, they could even cut him from that. So what are they going to do to fix it? They need to listen. They need to understand that, what's always worked for them isn't going to work necessarily now. It might in a few years' time when things change again. But Yamaha have got so much work to do. Let us know in the comments below what you think of Yamaha's terrible 2022 season, especially at the back end. Do you think they can recover from this in 2023? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Crash MotoGP for more content.